अब क्या है?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
राम राम राम
Okay, we'll
राम हरे हरे।
start with prayers.
पार्टिसिपेट कर
सबको
चुके
मैं म्यूट कर देता हूँ so that there will be no echo and then devotees can unmute and read. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So yesterday we started chapter number 6, I mean chapter number 44 of Krishna book entitled The Killing of Kamsa. So continue from where we left yesterday. I will read one paragraph and then devotees can read one paragraph. Yes. To assure his parents that Kamsa was dead, Lord Krishna dragged him just as a lion drags an elephant after killing it. When people saw this, from there was a great roaring sound from all sides as some spectators expressed their jubilation and others cried in lamentation. From the day Kamsa had heard he would be killed by the eighth son of Devki, he was always thinking of Krishna with his will in hand. And because he was very much afraid of his death, he was thinking of Krishna in that form 24 hours a day, without stopping, even while eating, while walking, and while breathing. And naturally, he got the blessings of liberation. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated, Sada tat bhava bhavitaha. A person gets his next life according to the thoughts in which he is always absorbed. Kamsa was thinking of Krishna with his will, which means Narayan, who holds a wheel, conch shell, lotus flower, and club. Okay, next paragraph. Um, who can read, and then Rishikesh Prabhu can be ready.
According to the
Yeah,
opinion
go
of
ahead.
authorities, Kamsa attended Sāru- sārūpya-mukti after death. That is to say, he attained the same form as Nārāyaṇa Viṣṇu on the Vaikuṇṭha planets. All the inhabitants have the same bodily features as Nārāyaṇa. After his death, Kamsa attained liberation and was promoted to Vaikuṇṭhaloka. From this instance, we can understand that even a person who thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as an enemy gets liberation or a place in a Vaikuṇṭha planet. So, what to speak of the pure devotees who are always absorbed in favorable thoughts of Krishna, even and enemy killed by Kṛṣṇa gets liberation and is placed in the impersonal brahma-jyotir. Since the Supreme Personality of Godhead is all good, anyone thinking of him either as an enemy or as a friend gets liberation, but the liberation of the devotee and the liberation of the enemy are not the same. The enemy generally gets the liberation of sāyujya and sometimes he gets sārūpya liberation.
Okay, thank you. Next, Prashant Prabhu, you can read, and Sahil Prabhu can be ready.
प्रभु जी मुझे बोला क्या?
Yes, Prashant Prabhu, go ahead.
Kamsa had 8 brothers, headed by Kanaka, all of them younger than he. And when they learned that their elder brother had been killed, they combined together
प्रशांत ब्रो का आवाज नहीं आ रहा है. Is it audible to others?
Although Krishna is independent of all the Vedic injunctions, he violates the Vedic injunctions only in inevitable cases. Kamsa could not be killed by anyone but Krishna. Therefore, Krishna was obliged to kill him. But as far as Kamsa's 8 brothers were concerned, Balram took charge of killing them. Balram's mother Rohini, although the wife of Vasudev, was not the sister of Kamsa. Therefore, Balram took charge of killing all the Kamsa's 8 brothers. He immediately took up an available weapon, most probably the elephant's tusk, which he carried, and killed the 8 brothers one after another, just as a lion kills a flock of deer. Krishna and Balram thus verify the statement that the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears in order to give protection to the pious and to kill the impious demons who are always enemies of the demigods.
Thank you. Next, Sahil Prabhu can read, and Prabhu can be ready.
Yes, Prabhuji.
You can read both the paragraphs.
Sure, bro. But okay. Yeah. The demigods from the higher planetary systems shot flowers congratulating Krishna and Balaram. Among the demigods were powerful personalities like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, and all joined together in showing their jubilation over Kamsa's death. There were beating of drums and showering of flowers from the heavenly planets, and the wives of the demigods danced in ecstasy. The wives of Kamsa and his 8 brothers were aggrieved at the sudden death of their husbands, and all of them struck their foreheads and shed torrents of tears, crying loudly and embracing the bodies of their husbands, which lay on the wrestling dais. The wives of Kamsa and his brothers lamented, addressing the dead bodies. O our dear husbands, you are so kind and are the protectors of your dependents. Now, after your death, we are also dead, along with your homes and children. We no longer look auspicious on account of your death. Your auspicious functions to take place, such as the sacrifice of the bow, have all been spoiled. Our dear husbands, you treated persons ill who were faultless, and as a result, you have been killed. This is inevitable because a person who torments an innocent person must be punished by the laws of nature. We know that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the supreme master and supreme enjoyer of everything. Therefore, one who neglects his authority can never be happy, and ultimately, as you have, he meets death.
Oh, okay, Dhruv Prabhu is there?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, please read.
Since Krishna was kind and affectionate to his aunts, he solaced them as far as possible. The ritualistic ceremonies performed after death were then conducted after the personal supervision of Krishna because he happened to a nephew of all the dead princes. After finishing this business, Krishna and Balram immediately released their father and mother, Vasudev and Devaki, Vasudev and Devaki, who had been imprisoned by Kamsa. Krishna and Balram fell at their parents' feet and offered them prayers. Vasudev and Devaki had suffered so much trouble from Kamsa because Krishna was their son. Devaki and Vasudev were fully conscious of Krishna's exalted position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, although Krishna touched their feet and offered them obeisances and prayers, they did not embrace him but simply stood up to hear the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although Krishna was born as their son, Vasudeva and Devaki were always conscious of his position.
Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 44th chapter of Krishna, the killing of Kamsa. So we have time, so we will move on to the next chapter. One important point, just I think all of you must have understood. Prabhupada is telling here that um, from the regulative principles point of view, it was incorrect for Krishna to kill his own maternal uncle Kamsa. But we need to understand that Kamsa could not have been killed by anyone else than Krishna. So that's why Krishna was forced to kill his uncle Kamsa. But the remaining brothers of Kamsa, who were not blood relatives of Balramji, so Balramji killed them, and Krishna did not kill the other relatives of his family. So Balram killed the remaining brothers of Kamsa, and Krishna only killed Kamsa because it was destined that Kamsa will be killed by Krishna only. Otherwise, Lord always follows the rules and regulations which are there for everyone. So that one point I just wanted to highlight once again. And I think apart from that, uh, like Prabhupada said, Kamsa got sāyujya-mukti because he was constantly thinking of Krishna 24 by 7. Although he was not thinking favorably, but still he was thinking of Krishna holding disc in the hand. He was thinking about Nārāyaṇa. So he also went to Vaikuṇṭha. So whether favorably or unfavorably, if we think of Krishna, definitely we'll go back to Krishna. So let's go to the next chapter in this book entitled Krishna recovers the son of his teacher. So I will read one paragraph and again we'll go in that same pattern. So after me, Rishikesh Prabhu can be ready, and then I think two more devotees joined. So okay, Rishikesh Prabhu and then uh, uh, Aman Prabhu can be ready. Chapter 45.
Krishna recovers the son of his teacher. When Lord Krishna saw Vasudeva and Devaki standing in a reverential attitude, he immediately expanded his influence of Yogamaya so that they could treat him and Balram as child. As in the material world, the relationship existing between father and mother and children can be established amongst different living entities by the influence of the illusory energy. So the influence of Yoga Maya, the devotee can establish a relationship in which the Supreme Personality of Godhead is his child. After creating this situation by his Yogamaya, Krishna appearing with his elder brother Balram as the most illustrious, illustrious son in the dynasty of the Satvats, very submissively and respectfully addressed Vasudev and Devki, my dear father and mother, although you have always been anxious for the protection of our lives, you could not enjoy the pleasure of having us as your babies, as your growing boys, and as your adolescent youth. Krishna indirectly praised the fatherhood of Nanda Maharaj and motherhood of Yashoda as most glorious because although he and Balram were not their born sons, Nanda and Yashoda actually enjoyed their childhood pastimes by nature own arrangement. The childhood of the embodied living being is enjoyed by his parents. Even in the animal kingdom, parents are found to be aff- affectionate to their cubes, being captivated by the activities of their offspring. They take much care for their well-being. As for Vasudev and Devaki, they were always anxious for the protection of their sons, Krishna and Balram. That is why Krishna, after his appearance, was immediately transferred to another house, Devaki home to Rohini.
It is सात्वतस, सात्वताम पति ही भगवान का एक नाम है, तो सात्वत है वो, और ये क्यूब्स नहीं है. दिस इज कब्स, affectionate to their cubs. So while reading, our pronunciation should be very correct. ठीक है, thank you. Yes, Aman Prabhu, can you read?
Vasudev and Devaki were full of anxieties for Krishna's and Balaram's protection, but they could not enjoy their childhood pastimes. Krishna said, unfortunately, being ordered by our fate, we could not be raised by our own parents to enjoy childhood pleasure at home. My dear father and mother, a man cannot repay his debt to his parents, from whom he gets his body, which can bestow upon him all the benefit of material existence. According to the Vedic injunctions, this human form of life enables one to perform all kinds of religious activities, fulfill all kinds of desire, and acquire all kinds of wealth. And only in this human form is there every possibility that one can get liberation from material existence. This body is produced by the combined efforts of the father and mother. Every human being should be obliged to his parents and understand that he cannot repay his debt to them. If, after growing up, a son does not try to satisfy his parents by his actions or by an endowment of riches, he is surely punished after death by the superintendent of death and made to eat his own flesh. If a person is able to care for or give protection to old parents, a chaste wife, children, the spiritual master, brahmanas, and other dependents, but does not do so, he is considered already dead, although he is supposedly breathing. My dear father and mother, you have always been anxious for our protection, but unfortunately, we could not render any service to you. Until now, We have simply wasted our time. Due to reasons beyond our control, we could not serve you. Mother and Father, please excuse us for our sinfulness. Thank you.
Thank you. I think new devotees joined, so we'll give them chance. Aditya Prabhu, you can read next two paragraphs.
Yes, Guruji. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead was speaking as an innocent boy in very sweet words, Vasudev and Devaki became captivated by parental affection and embraced him with great pleasure. They were amazed and could not speak or answer the words of Krishna, but simply embraced him and Balram in great affection and remained silent, shedding incessant tears. Thus, having consoled his father and mother, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appearing as the beloved son of Devaki, approached his grandfather Ugrasena and announced that Ugrasena would now be the king of Yadu kingdom. Kamsa had been forcefully ruling the kingdom of Yadu in spite of the presence of his father, whom he had arrested. But after the death of Kamsa, his father was released and announced to be the monarch of Yadu kingdom. It appears that in those days, in the western part of India, there were many small kingdoms ruled by the Yadu dynasty, Andhak dynasty, Viṣṇu dynasty, and Bhoj dynasty. Maharaj Ugrasena belonged to Bhoj dynasty. Therefore, Krishna indirectly declared that the king of Bhoj dynasty would be the emperor of the other small kingdoms. Krishna willingly asked Maharaj Ugrasena to rule over himself and Balram because they were his subjects. The word pragya, praja, is used both for progeny and for citizens. So Krishna beloved belonged to the praja, both as a grandson of Maharaj Ugrasena and as a member of Yadu dynasty. Thus he voluntarily accepted the rule of Maharaj Ugrasena. He informed Ugrasena, being cursed by Yayati, the kings of Yadu dynasty may not occupy the throne. It will be our pleasure to act as your servants. My full cooperation with you will make your position more exalted and secure, so that the kings of other dynasty will not hesitate to pay their respective revenues. Protected by me, you will be honored even by the demigods from the heavenly planets. My dear grandfather, out of fear of my late uncle Kamsa, all the kings belonging to the Yadu dynasty, Vrishni, Andhak, Madhu, Darsha, and Kupura dynasty, were very anxious and disturbed. Now you can pacify them all and give them assurance of security. The whole kingdom will be peaceful.
Thank you. So here Krishna is telling being cursed by Yati. So this pastime comes in ninth canto, where you must have heard that famous verse that one should not sit on the same platform with one's wife, daughter, and mother. एक श्लोक आता है ना, so that shloka was spoken by Yati Maharaj to Devyani. So Yati wanted youth. It's a long story. आप लोग भागवतम में पढ़ लेना. So he had four sons. So the eldest son was Yadu Maharaj, and Yadu said, "I will not give my youth in exchange with my father." So then he was cursed. You will not become the king. You cannot become the king. So and then Puru, the youngest son, gives the youth to Yati in exchange. So Puru becomes the king after his father. So, so because of that, Krishna he is mentioning here, because of the curse given by Yati to King Yadu, we cannot become the king. So you should be the king of the whole dynasty. So that pastime is there in the ninth canto. So those who want, you can refer afterwards. Okay, we have 5 minutes left, so we will read one last paragraph and then stop for today. Let me check who else has joined, who has not got chance to read. I think Tejas Prabhu को chance नहीं मिला है, and who else is there? व्रजनायक कृष्ण प्रभु. अच्छा, ठीक है, दो पैराग्राफ पढ़ेंगे. एक तेजस प्रभु पढ़िए, एक व्रजनायक प्रभु पढ़ सकते हैं. Then we'll stop for today. Yes, Tejas Prabhu, if you are there, please unmute and read. I think Tejas Prabhu is not there. व्रजनायक प्रभु, आप पढ़िए एक पैराग्राफ.
Tejas bro is there, but he is not audible. So I'm giving his my phone.
Okay, chalega. And Vrajnak Prabhu can
All
be
the,
ready.
all the kings in the neighboring area had left their homes in fear of Kamsa and were living in distant parts of the country. Now, after the death of Kamsa and the reinstallment of Ugrasena as king, the neighboring kings were given all kind of presentation and comforts. Then they returned to their respective homes. After their nice political arrangement, the citizens of Mathura were pleased to live in Mathura, being protected by strong arms of Krishna and Balram. On account of good government in the presence of Krishna and Balram, the inhabitants of Mathura felt complete satisfaction in the fulfillment of their material desires and necessities. And because they saw Krishna and Balram daily, face to face, they soon forgot all material miseries completely. As soon as they saw Krishna and Balram coming out on the street, very nicely dressed and smiling and looking at the citizens with grace, the citizens were immediately filled with loving ecstasies simply by seeing the personal presence of Mukunda. The name Mukunda refers to one who can award liberation and transcendental bliss. Krishna's pastime acted as a vitalizing tonic that not only younger generation but even the old men of Mathura became fully invigorated with youthful energy and strength by regularly seeing him.
Thank you. Vrajnak Krishna Prabhu.
Nanda,
पढ़िए.
एक मिनट. Nanda Maharaja and Yashoda were also living in Mathura because Krishna and Balram were there. But after some time, they wanted to go to back Vrindavan. Krishna and Balram went before Nanda and Yashoda and very affectionate, affectionately embraced them. And then the two lords spoke as follows. Dear father and mother, although we were born of Vasudeva and Devaki, you have been our real father and mother, because from our very birth and childhood you raised us with great affection and love. Your affectionate love for us was more than anyone can offer one's own children. You are actually our father and mother because you raised us as your own children when we were just like orphans. For certain reasons, we were rejected by our father and mother, and you protected us. Dear father and mother, we know that you will feel separation upon returning to Vrindavan and leaving us here. But please rest assured that we shall come back to Vrindavan just after giving some satisfaction to our real father and mother, Vasudeva and Devaki, and our grandfather and our family members. Krishna and Balram thus satisfied Nanda and Yashoda by sweet words and by presentation of various kinds of clothing, ornaments, and copper utensils. They satisfied them also with their friends and neighbors who had come with them from Vrindavan to Mathura as fully as possible. On account of excessive parental affection for Balram and Krishna, Nanda Maharaj felt tears in his eyes, and he embraced them and started with the cowherd men for Vrindavan.
Okay, so now it's 9 p.m. and we have completed till this section. And from tomorrow, we'll continue the next part where Vasudev will send his children, Krishna Balram, to Gurukul of Sandipani Muni in Ujjaini. So that second part of this chapter we'll read tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll try to finish this chapter at 8:30 p.m. So please join again tomorrow evening at same time, and we'll continue from where we have left today. Thank you all for joining. So let me check who all have joined. Dhruv Prabhu, Rishikesh Prabhu, Prashant Prabhu, Sahil Prabhu, Vrajnayak Prabhu, Aman Prabhu, Tejas Prabhu, Aditya Prabhu, and myself. So total 9 devotees are there. Jai. So I think we will have more devotees tomorrow. So please will please also bring your friends and students for tomorrow's book reading. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Krishna Bhagwan ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.